Hey guys, welcome to today's video, and we're going to be talking about debate tournaments. So let's say this is the night before your debate tournament, or maybe you're just someone who's interested in high school debate but wants to know what the tournaments are like. After all, tournaments are a huge aspect of debate and how you win and get awards. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about before, during, and after a tournament, what you should expect and what you should do. And I'll also teach in some terms that you'll want to know so you can perform well in the tournament. Now, before we get into the video, let me just introduce myself. I'm Ethan Benoit, and this is my channel. So currently I'm doing a string of debate related videos, so if you're into that, it'd be a great help just to subscribe down below. And also like and comment if this video was helpful to you in any way. Now, let's get back to the video. Now, before the tournament, first thing you want to do is make sure you're ready. Do you know what debate style you're doing and how it works? Do you know the topic of your debate? Do you know that you have cases for both sides of the debate or speeches ready depending on what you're doing? And if you feel like you're prepared, talk to your coach and let them know that you are prepared and ask to register for a tournament. And sometimes, usually the coaches register you, but sometimes you will have to do it yourself as well. Next, when you are registering for a tournament, before you register, you'll have to make sure that you have all the payments in check and also all of the medical forms or liability forms or travel forms in check as well. And joining a tournament requires payment, but if you paid a membership fee, this should be included in that. Then you can just register for the tournament. Most tournaments end their registration a week early, so make sure you register early so you get your spot in the tournament. And if you don't, no worries, because there's usually tournaments around every weekend. So you can just try again next week. Alright, and here's a little tutorial on how to register for an NSDA tournament. And this is called a website called Tab Room. And there's other websites where you can register for tournaments. Another popular one is joyoftournaments.com. But this is a general process. So first, you'll have to make an account on Tabroom, and this is very easy and simple. Just make a username and have a password. Then you'll have to link your account with your school's account, and linking to your school's account will automatically put you in the correct location and correct circuit so you can get tournaments near you. Then the school account can only register students. Students can't register themselves. So just ask your coach to register you. And then once you're registered, you're good to go and you're off to compete. All right, now to the important part. You're all prepared, you're all ready to go, hopefully. Then it's time to go to the tournament. So during the tournament, there's three things that you'll need to keep in check. One, the schematic. Two, you'll have downtime. And three, your behavior. And I'll go over all three of these in a simple, summarized fashion. So first, schematic. And if this word is new to you for any way, don't worry. It's very simple. It just means that it's a table or form that assigns pairings and gives rooms so these pairings can go and compete in the room. And these pairings are, of course, a pair of teams or a pair of debaters that will argue against each other. And so if you look on the slide, there's a sample schematic I shown, and you can clearly see it says what event it is. In this case, it's Lincoln Douglas. It says what time it is. It says the room, judge, and it also says the different teams or different sides and the debaters' names. Now, the debaters' names are in code names, and depending on the tournament, they might use different code names. Sometimes the code name is just the general debate full name, but also it could be the debater's initials with the school, and that's the case here. Now, make sure that in the tournament you have a map of the school, since for debate tournaments you'll probably be traveling to other schools, and you'll need to know where the room is so you can actually compete, and check the schedule so you're on time for all of the rounds and you're not late. Alright guys, speaking of schedules, let's talk about it. Now here I've shown an example schedule, and this is from a tournament I actually went to. Now there's first 5 rounds, and these are called the preliminary rounds. So these are guaranteed rounds that you will compete in regardless of if you lose every single one. After those, Then you get 5 elimination rounds, and that's what the elim stands for. So in these ones, if you lose one, you're out. And then eventually goes an elimination 4 is the semifinals, and elimination 5 is the finals. Now, if you notice, there is PWR, which stands for power, for 3 of the preliminary rounds. So these are power match rounds, and they're based on whoever won or whoever lost the first 2 rounds will go against someone in the same situation. So if you lost the first 2 rounds, you're not going to go against someone who won the first 2 rounds in your round 3. And likewise. Now, as you can see, it starts from 4:30 p.m. Friday and ends at 8:30 p.m. And then you'll have to add an hour or 2 to that. So you're really getting home only around by 10 or 9:30. So that is a huge time for just one debate tournament. But keep in mind, this is on the bigger side, and this is one of the bigger ones. Now, what is the schedule? Well, obviously, it shows all the timings for all the rounds in each event. And depending on the size or number of judges, it can be flighted. And I'll explain what flighted is later. So you'll want to keep check of the schedule all the time, just because debate tournaments are notorious for being late and being delayed. So don't be surprised if your Friday round 3 actually starts at 9:30 or maybe even 10:30. Now, flights, as I said before, depends on the size of the tournament, on how many debaters there are, or how many judges there are. And tournaments are usually flighted when there's a lack of judges. So this means that the judge will stay in the same room, and after a first round is over, the second round of competitors will come in, and then the second flight will begin. So this means that there'll be second flights for each round. So round 1, there'll be 2 people, and if your second flight, you'll have to wait for around an hour. So then your round would really start at 5:30, not 4:30. Now, another term you'd want to know is tab, which is just where the organizers of the tournament are there to answer questions or make schematics and etc. So if there's a problem with the tournament, people will say refer it to tab. And so that means just contacting the organizers of the tournament. And it's usually some sort of room. And speaker points. Speaker points are something separate than just the win or lose result. So usually when you go into a debate, one side will win, one side will lose. But speaker points are also given just in case there is a tie and the tie needs to be broken. Speaker points are given based on how well you speak and how well you articulate your words. So the max is a 30 and the lowest is a 25. I have no idea why they didn't go with 1 through 5, but they did what they wanted to. Alright, now downtime or free time. Since you've seen a sample schedule and you know that the debate events aren't usually for the full 2 hours, then you know you'll have some free time or downtime in between rounds. So this downtime can be used to prepare for your next rounds, or maybe do any homework you brought along, or discuss with your teammates. Whatever it is, you will have that free time to yourself. Now, there's also options to get food, since most tournaments, when they are full day Saturday, they will have an extra long time in between some rounds, and this would be your lunch break. So make sure you look at the schedule and you know when the lunch break is, so you can go grab some food with your friends. And there's also spectating. If you're done with all your rounds in the tournament and you just have free time for the rest of the tournament, it's a great option to go and spectate rounds. First, obviously ask your coach if you can, and then before you enter a room to spectate, make sure everyone in the room is a-okay with you spectating, because obviously sometimes it can make people nervous and they're uncomfortable with it. So if you didn't make it into the elimination rounds or you didn't break, then it's a great strategy to watch the debaters in the elimination rounds, see what they're doing, and see how you could improve. Alright, behavior. This one should be obvious, guys. It's a debate tournament, it's a competitive field, but you'll need to be a good sportsman, you'll need to have business attire, and just be professional and respectful in general. These are just the obvious rules, but it never hurts just to say it. Because you don't want to be caught playing tag out on the street when your round was 15 minutes ago and you're nowhere near it. So Just be nice, guys. And so behavior. It's a debate tournament, and this one should be obvious, guys. You gotta be professional, you gotta be respectful. And yes, this means you'll have to wear business attire, and you have to be a good sportsmanship. So save the tears for home, guys. And don't play on your phone or chew gum during round or while you're talking or anyone else is talking. And if you're spectating around, obviously don't make a lot of noise or belittle other debaters. So just be nice and respectful. I've seen so many cases where people think they're safe and they're talking bad about judges or other debaters and they're right behind them. And so that obviously discredits your school, and you're there to represent your school. So act like it. Now, after the tournament, you're done, you're relieved, you're out of that torturous experience. If you won a few rounds, that's huge congrats on you. If it's your first tournament, you shouldn't go in expecting to win any rounds, let alone even break to the elimination rounds or win the tournament in general. If you did win any rounds at all, that's an amazing achievement, especially if it's your first time debating. So after the tournament, regardless of how well you did, even if you miraculously won the tournament, you should still ask your questions. How can I improve, and what steps should I take to improve? Now that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and good luck on any tournaments you guys are going. Thank you for watching.